Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GCSports. My name is T. We're bringing you through tonight's action of the Cringe Xfinity Series live from Homestead, Miami Speedway. The glorious mile-and-a-half track down south. Multi-groove racing. High line to be worked here. A long 100-lap race for the up-and-comers of the series to deal with. Now joining me in the booth alongside me is Mr. Justin Shackett. Who happens to be our IRR, so nice transition into that. Say hello, Dad.
Hi, I'm sad now.
I think that was the point. But yeah, I'll hand it back over to you, Justin. I mean, what are your thoughts about what we could see from this race this evening?
I think you're 100% right on all three of those. Ouch.
Right, I do think that is something you have to keep an eye on, especially turn two. Like, we saw a couple guys even custom race go sliding off a turn two. Energy being the one I could come up with the top of my head, as well as myself when I was racing that. But that gets amplified 10 times the amount when you're on the preset. You don't have so many aspects that you change to sort of like leave a little safety net for you there. So I think it'll be a very interesting like fine line, because the outside is the way to pass here as well. So if you get stuck on the outside for two, you're going to see a lot of guys have to be really careful up there. All right, I saw the timer was going. Dad, are we good to join?
Yep, right now you're good to join. No, I was in the load screen when I told y'all. Just went into it.
Well, that would have been good. No.
Wow. So we're talking to a wall. Great.
Uh, all right, let's not fight each other. Robbie Racing says hello from YouTube land. Apparently, we're saying hello to walls now, but
now you can hear me. I'm here.
Great.
Don't worry.
Thanks.
The one, the only, Justin Shackett has officially arrived to the party. And of course, probably your dad's on the pole, but he won't stay there long. And of course, he's driving the 69 because we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, so kind of back to what I was saying real quick, just a real quick review. I don't think you're going to see a lot of guys take the outside line when it comes shorter in the run. I mean, the first 5 laps, you can really use it to your advantage, especially on restarts. But I think you're going to see it kind of bottleneck up here, because with preset, some guys are going to think the higher the preset, the better the car. But come 10 laps into the run, they're going to lose it, and they're not going to be able to keep a hold of it.
right, and That is very important to note. Now, as we get to the race in action, probably your dad was able to get out front over Sludge, who's making his second race in Xfinity. Cringe. Capjack third. Mopow is hiding back here after a little bit of contact with Just Ken and I believe one other driver off of turn 4 on lap 1. He's ended up in the middle, back of the middle pack there.
So one driver that I would keep an eye on would be Shake and Bake because he can sometimes be a very, very aggressive driver and not really use patience. I mean, I am not one to really talk. Over the course of running this league, I've gotten a lot better about using patience, but the other thing too here is I know a lot of people complained about it last race, but an example is when I was running the bottom, I was trying to slide up. Sometimes you can't help the car sliding up, and the 54 is around.
Well, but I was about to say the 54 is definitely sliding up right there as he's gone around in turns 1 and 2. That's looked to held up.
Looks like they're going to pull up, it looks like the top 4 are pulling away, and then that kind of leaves a gap between.
That
I
is.
think you and I can agree, T-Bird. The one driver that you kind of want to keep an eye on this race would be the 16 of Masopes. We've raced with him. He's a very consistent driver. He looks like he's running a more tighter preset because he made the pass on the 1 where you see NRG in the car with NRG get loose. I don't know if they're doing this on purpose or what's going on, but they're going to slide up in front of Masopes. But the 1 car is using a way looser preset because he hit the apron coming into and out of 2, which let the 16 kind of get under him.
Yeah, that'll be something to keep an eye on, is whether you go loose or tight here for short run versus long run. Meanwhile, up front, the racing is phenomenal. Now the 9 is taking the lead over the 44. 69 of probably your dad's right there, and Delgatro in the 51 right there in 4th place after commentating the custom race with Dengate earlier in the evening. So he's learned a lot from doing that, and is now up there with the leaders as well. So top 4 in the group. 5th place, Just Ken.
I don't know if anybody has preset sliders open still on their teams for A, but if Sludge could get his way into the top 16, I think you could see maybe drivers who aren't active every week get dropped from their teams and make room for Sludge, because Sludge in the past has proven himself as a very good preset driver.
Yeah, that is something to keep an eye on. I think there are some preset spots. I know I have one personally as a team owner myself at the moment. Actually 2 open, but one actually I should have probably looked. I don't think Bayhawk's here this evening. Nah, so. But I do have 2 spots open myself, and Sludge is also signed on custom side, so he would probably get signed back up with that team for preset if he's able to make top 16 and make the races on Tuesday night.
The first person to put the waiver wire in is the first person to really give him the offer. He does have the right to decline the offer the first time. If that team captain gives him the same offer, he has to take it.
I think you missed the point where Sludge is already signed on a team with customs. He can only join that team on preset, so if he's going to join a team, it'll be that same team. But we'll keep a close eye on that. The battle for the lead still within 4 cars. And now you look further back, that is Masopes right there.
The 44 is lagging kind of like the 1 did last race. I don't know if it's doing it in the race, but he's lagging side to side.
What number?
The 44.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times.
Delgatro is trying to make the outside lane work, but like I said, he tried the outside lane, and then, I mean, he did hit the wall coming out of the turn. So, I just personally, for a preset, and I mean, T-Bird and Dad, you can kind of touch on this too with your opinion. but the middle to lower racing line is kind of the really good racing line for a preset.
Yeah, usually I try to run the second groove, because bottom's a little too loose for me. Top's a little too loose for me.
Yeah, I could generally get mine cars to usually stick on the bottom, but middle line's also good to use, but you're generally going to stay with those two lanes unless you're making a pass early in the run, which we've seen some guys do, but now, as you touched on with Delgatro, that line's really starting to fade away and make way for the two bottom lanes.
Yeah, and I mean he can adjust his line somewhat because he does have such a large gap, but at the same time he doesn't want to adjust it and try things too much when you're the last car in the draft. Because yes, draft is a huge thing here at Homestead, but being the last car in the draft, you could easily be left behind.
Right, here's the now battle for the lead as Captain Jack was actually able to get a better run than the 9 car off the exit. They're going to be side by side with the 44 on the top line. Probably your dad's not going to have a little sniff at it, but can't really get to work. But now Jack gets cleared by the 9 once again after he had a bit of a slow run in 3 and 4 on the high side.
Right, and if you saw it, you could see that the 44 dove it into the turn as far as possible, and he washed out way too high, which caused him to have to either check up or get out of the throttle to stay out of the wall.
Right, he had another run right there though, and is giving it a little run at it, but now he's going to slide up again, going hard in the corner. Now 51's going to go underneath for second.
Yeah, the 44 is lagging, so I think these guys are just wanting to shuffle him out. Oh, and the 51 was not clear a lot.
He had a little hole. I looked for him.
Yeah, that was very close at the very least there between those guys. Just going to give a little spotlight to the second group. That also now 4 cars. Just Ken, Masopes, Shake and Bake, and NRG making up spots 5 through 8 at the moment. And in a similar situation to the front 4. But now as we head back up there, it looks like Kevin was looking to make another move, but couldn't get that to work. So
if you're the driver and you're coming to the stage end, do you want to be an odd number or an even number? Where would you prefer to restart?
I'd rather restart on the bottom. I'd rather have the bottom. Even at Kansas on a restart, I'd rather have bottom if it's front row.
Would you be nervous that the guy on the outside would try to hug you down too much to where you can't get the turn that you need?
A little bit, but if you crack the throttle a little bit before you even get to the corner, on a restart, it usually kind of settles the nose in to where it won't shove straight up the track.
Yeah, I think the only way the outside line would, be good on a restart is you would really have to side draft the door of the first place car to make sure that you're still side by side of them coming out of turn 2 to have the run down the back. Because as much as people don't think it does, the side draft does work in this game. It does. If you can get like a play tracks and stuff like that, you can get a side draft and actually see that car physically pull back towards the other car.
Right, as we might see that happen right here with the 44 looking back to the outside, a 9 car for the race lead once again, and chaos out in the back of that in that second group as well. We'll take a look right there. Shakebake's taking 5th place. Energy is looking. Oh, and I think there was a wreck back there. I believe cars are around the back of the field.
If
and
you're
it's
the 9 car right here, you need to side draft the 44 going into the turn so that you can clear him coming off. Oh, and they're going to get loose, and Dad's going to take it 3 wide to the outside for second. I don't believe he's going to clear the 51, though. Dad's going to drive it in a little bit deeper to try to get clear of the 51.
Yeah.
51's going to slide.
Well, looks like 69 is going to have the draft here and get clear of the 51 right here. Yes, he will, and the 44 for that matter. So we're back at that. Sludge still leads, but now Dad's second coming into the final laps of stage number 1 right here.
Only 2 to go this time.
So
Thank
I
you.
like what the 9 car is doing. He's leaving the bottom open going into the turn to kind of give Dad that, like, oh, I may leave the bottom open, but then he's sliding it down so that he's not, I don't want to say cutting the nose off, but shutting the door of any car trying to get below him. So what's
Right.
happening is he's making the car behind him get tight because he's taking the air off the nose halfway through the corner, which is causing that car to have to not get the run that it needs to.
Right,
And now if
and
you're the 9 car, you're on defense. You hug the bottom and you hope that you don't hit the apron.
right as we come to the white flag of stage number 1 right here, Sludge leads, Dad second, Captain Jack and Delgato side by side for third. In
But you
this,
also pray that knowing Dad and the kind of racer he is, that he does not get to your outside because he will hug that corner to try to get under you.
well, looks like he couldn't really make it. Now Delgato's going to go underneath for second. That might have just been a little breather that Sludge needed to secure the stage 1. He'll now get
So,
a couple car lays clear and get
if you're
clear.
Dad here, you want the bottom, do you give it to the 51?
And we'll see right here. Sludge wins stage number 1. I believe Dad might have gotten second out of that.
Yeah, P2, Delgatro 3rd, Captain Jack 4th, Soaps 5th, Shake and Bake 6th, Just Ken 7th, Brian SP 8th, NASCAR 82 FK 9th, and 10th Harvick Paul.
I just want to say, that is a good run for Ryan. Ryan is normally a very quiet driver in the back. He essentially worked his way through all those wrecks to get up into the top 7.
Yeah, very just a nice methodical run. That's what you need sometimes if you're those mid-pack cars. As we saw, Energy and Ty and guys that were up there in the like second group right there wrecking with like a few laps to go in the stage, and you just gain those spots and all those incidents, especially at a place like here at Homestead where a bit more incident prone than a lot of mile and a halves are, and that's just sort of mentality you have to have. But now we're going to get set for stage number 2. Sludge to the inside, Dad to the outside with Soaps.
Captain
Up.
Jack might have lagged out. Check that.
I'll check. He lagged out. The 44 is out.
A blown engine under caution for Captain Jack as we're back on the way for stage number 2. Sludge
So
leads.
Try to touch on it before we went green, and I didn't get a chance because I was checking something. But the one thing that I wanted to see is how aggressive Dad was going to get with side drafting the 9 on the restart.
Yeah. But I mean, right here, still in that second groove, but now side by side with Soaps for second is Dad.
I'm telling you, that 16 is one of the cars you have to watch out for. He is a good driver. Oh, and the 51 got the wall going into turn 1.
Yeah, but that's, honestly, backed him up. Maybe get a run out the exit here for the 51. Soaps has gone clear for second place. Shake and Bake's also now battling for the top 5 for the first time this evening. Those two
So
starting in the back of the field.
Who are you picking, T-Bird?
Well, I mean, we're not really halfway first, and we've gone 2 laps with adjusted presets coming in, so I wouldn't make a huge guess yet. Sludge is pulling a defensive masterclass up at the front of the field right now, not letting anyone really get a nose out in front of him. And he's done it really consistently, especially in the long run. I think he's going to be, I mean, cheap to say that the leader's the one to watch, but he's just been a really good driver up to this point. Now, back of the field, there was a car around, Energy and someone else making contact. It looks like NASCAR 82 FK was the driver. That is the 5 car. After getting stage points in stage 1, will drop to the rear of the field here in stage 2 and just sort of ride out the stage.
Yeah, another car too that I think you're going to see start floating its way up towards the top is, I think he's your points leader on the side or Xfinity side, and that would be Just Ken. Just Ken has essentially dominated this Xfinity season so far. He's kind of a little further back than I don't know if he got caught up in some of the wrecks, but he's slowly making his way through the field because he's 100% stuck to that high side.
Yeah, and he was sort of like, I don't think he had the greatest car that he wanted in stage one. Lost a couple spots, especially at the end of the stage, but he's going to be coming up back in this group now in this 6-car battle for 1 through 6, and he's in the tail end of it right now, but you can start picking these guys off one by one. And you also know that Just Ken, just as a driver, one of the more aggressive guys, one of the guys that will go for a move when he sees an opening. And so you'll see some excitement coming out of that 0 car here, I think, in stage number 2.
Just came to a stop on the low side. And Just Ken's going to cut him a break to get back in line, but he went to go pull a move on the bottom on Dad, and that 51 just came to a stop.
And that's the thing is, you dive the cars in too deep, you have no momentum for the exit of the corner unless you want to spend your time sliding up 3 lanes to a seam where that could throw your car right back all the way down into the inside wall.
Another car out.
There's another car with a blown engine. Who is that?
Make that another one too.
Harvick Pollock is out. Captain Jack and Chewy.
So that's now 3 blown engines in this race, the 78 and the 21, now the latest to bail out of the festivities here from Homestead Miami Speedway. Be sure to tune in later this week on Tuesday and Thursday for the Cup side, both Cringe and Giggity, right here at the 1.5 miles in Miami for the action there. Be sure to check that out if you're not racing in it.
Those are going to be some very good races. There's lots of talent on both A sides of next week.
Yeah, as we've seen the gap of sludge dwindle down as the field behind him has sort of gone single file for a moment.
16 got loose. 51 was going to look.
And now 16 is going to be the one that's looking down a lane below the 1. That's right up at the wall. Kept it off it.
Couldn't get there. He almost was there off exit. Almost. The one car is kind of stopping the run for the 16 and the 51 because he's entering at the wall but coming down in the middle, so the 16's not able to carry the speed through the top of the corner that he wants.
We got one in the infield.
Now he's going to push the one under Dad, and he's going to hang the one out to dry. But the 51 is going to...
Alright, 51 thought twice of making a 3-wide move. Now Shake and Bake did have a huge side draft moment against the 69 right there. And they'll still be side by side off the exit.
The 16 almost came across the nose of the 51. This is only going to allow the 9 to pull away.
Yeah, that is true. But you still have a group of...
The 69 is getting help from the 16, but now the 16 is going to take a 3-wide because the 69 slipped.
Yeah, and actually a bit of contact between the 16 and the 1 there when he went to make that move. Sort of knocked the 1 out of the groove right there down towards the inside wall of the front stretch.
Is not getting very loose off the turns, which that makes me wonder, is he running a tighter preset than most of these guys?
Yeah, I'm a little loose right now. That's why I'm really trying to not run the top.
But you can see right there at a 4, the 16 is not loose whatsoever. Like, that car does not even wiggle.
Yeah, and we're talking about Masopes, who is very good at Homestead in his Xfinity cars from prior leagues that I've ran against him. And so no surprise that he's up front, and no surprise that he knows what he's doing up here as he tries to go and run down the 9 of sludge with the last winding down in stage number 2.
Nobody so far has the exit speed that the 9 has. He just has a lot more exit speed, and I wonder if it's because he's doing, like I said before, he's backing up the turn and getting the run off.
Yeah, and I mean, you also touched in pre-race. That's what you really have to do with the slider cars is be more patient on the throttle when you're entering the corner and exiting the corner to get that run off. But now 16 is going to have a gander at it right on the bumper of the 9 right here. And to the inside, 16 sends it down side by side. 9's going to have the outside to work with, but turn 2, does he have issues with it? They're still going to be side by side. Draft's gone to the outside with Sludge in the 9. And he'll get back clear the lead, as now Masos has to protect P2 against probably your dad. And the gang behind.
He was clear. He could have slid up and shut the door, but he did not get up in time.
4 to go.
4 to go.
The 16 right here has to. I don't want to call it an asshole move, but he has to. He's got to do that right there. He has to slide up.
Oh, that's a bit too much sliding. As a 69 loses a couple spots.
I think what it was is it was hesitation where the 16 thought that, maybe I should give him the position, and the 69 was like, I'm going to go below him. So I think it was just a mix of, like, people trying to go somewhere.
Right, that's about a lot of contact there. Now, Delgacho in 3rd place, and Just Ken right there in 4th as well. Side by side for 2nd once again. Cars spread out side by side. It looks like maybe even 3 wide in the back of that group a little bit. As Shake and Bake goes for a move on Just Ken. The 16 to 51, they've gone single file for the moment. Do they try to run down the 9, get him, have one of them make a move for the stage win? Especially Masopsin at 16, he'll want to do that, as he's going to be the first car to get back to the 9.
That 9 car is just really smooth off exit.
2 to go.
So that's Denke coming across for 2 to go. Which means we are coming out of turn 4, coming to the white flag in stage number 2. And the 16 is going to be about half a car length off of the 9. Maybe a full car length.
51, you have to get to that 16's bumper and push him. Coming right off here, you guys need to be hooked up to give him the push and kind of push him under the 9. But he's not going to have the run.
Yep. Masops looks to the 2nd lane to see if he could get anything to beat the 9 car, but he will not be able to do it. It'll be Sludge winning stage 2, getting the sweep there. Masops 2nd, Delgacho 3rd, just getting 4th. Dad 5th, Shaky Bake 6th. It looks like.
So I think what you're going to have to do is you are going to have to rough up the 9 car. You're going to have to get him roughed up and get him back in traffic.
I'm going to need a tighter car.
So Titan, Rockstar, Warpig, Denke rounding out the top 10.
How in the world did you get stage points?
They wrecked in front of me, and I made it by.
Fair enough. So there is the rest of your finish in order for stage number 2. As we get ready for the final stage now, something we sort of realized in the custom race that we are in, Justin. This is not the easiest stage to make on a one stop. Could very well see another situation like Texas where it's all about getting as much as you can out of this first run to make it to the end.
And did we see strategy maybe? Because it looks like... I don't know.
I don't think there was a whole lot of anything going on out of pit lane. I think everyone took...
tried to side draft the 9. The 9 was not having it. He's like, fine.
Right, but now as they fan out... With Soaps, he's going to get underneath the 9.
Ooh,
now the 9's going...
Can he shut the door? He's got to shut the door now if he's going to do it. The 9 car's in the wall. Oh, the 16's in the wall. That's what I mean.
Yeah, a whole bunch of cars bouncing off each other. We've
That's exactly what I
90.
meant. Roughing him up and getting him in traffic, but
Oh.
Masopes closed the door and he couldn't hold it and he got into the wall, which now the 9 car is being taken 3 wide on the outside.
Yep, and now Delgatro and all the chaos that happened with that clear for the lead has taken it from the rest of the field. He's single file cleared. Probably your dad's
Now
going to
the
get
9
second
car
right
is
here.
gonna say, sorry, buddy, but you put me in a bad situation.
Oh, bit of contact. Rockstar and Titan, who've come up into this group now after working their way back up from earlier incidents in stage 1 for both of them. Got a little contact, got a little wall action there.
Oh, and the 9. Oh, he got loose. Oh, Masopes is giving up spots, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he going to the strategy, the fuel save?
No, I don't think you have to. Unless it calculates the laps weird here.
Well, I was 1 lap short on a custom, and I ran it all the way to the end. So you have to make it to at least lap 26 in order to be comfortable with enough fuel to make it. Was the 51 kidding, or did he just get
No,
loose?
I think he's just trying to break draft.
Oh! And the 08 is not happy with the 54.
Why?
He just sent him all the way to the wall.
Yeah, a little bit of
And I can speak from experience, and I think all 3 of us can. Rockstar is not one driver that you want to rough feathers with, because he will, for absolutely no good reason, and he doesn't care about penalties, he will wreck you. So if I'm the 08, I would be very nervous for the 54 to get back to my bumper.
Well, that whole situation started when the 54 put the 08 in the wall out of turn 4 a couple laps
So
prior.
Maybe it's apples for apples. That could have, maybe the 54 is like, okay, you got your minute, you got your moment. But, again, it's just, yeah.
Yeah, not it. Yeah, so a bit of a disappreciation there from the 08.
But if I'm the 08, I want to keep the 16 as a buffer.
Right. As now in the 9 looking back underneath the 6-9 for second place. Will he be able to get that move to stick?
Yeah, he will. Too tight.
Because the 08 has all of a sudden come to life. I don't know what changes he made under these 2 pit stops, but that 08 has all of a sudden, gained life.
Well, a lot of it was he was stuck in the pack for stage 1, got caught up in a couple things, and then at the very end of the stage got caught up with Energy's incident. So stage 2, he spent the entire time making his way back up through the field, so he's probably had that speed the entire time, just not a place to showcase it where he has right now in 4th place.
Yeah, and the 08, the 16, and the 54 just have to stay together, pushing each other, in order to stay close to the front pack. Because it looks like the 08 gains it on corner entry, but then they lose it off corner exit. But, I mean, they're running side by side. The 51's trying to break the draft, which that didn't help him there because he scraped the wall going into the turn. So now that's going to bring the 08 closer.
I didn't scrape the wall. I'm trying to let the 9 go.
Oh, that was a Justin T-Bird move right there.
Yeah.
And the 08's going to say, sorry, 69, you're out of here. He's going to show him the nose and say, hey, buddy, I'm here. I'm racing for points. You're not.
Yeah, well, Dad's racing because he's Dad.
Well, the
So
other thing the 08's got to remember, too, you're racing for a job.
right, and you're racing against the captain right now. So yeah, you have
You're
to.
racing against 1 or 2 captains in here who have open, I believe, have open seats on their teams right now.
Nah, Dad does not. I don't think. I think he's full.
1 of 3.
Oh yeah, Deca, you're also technically a captain.
That's
Technically?
Well, you are a captain.
Just a little bit.
Hey, I at least got a team win. I love it. Thanks, Hamilton.
Where did Hamilton win?
Charlotte Roval.
Oh, yes, that's right.
As there's a 9 car making a move for the lead.
Oh, the
Del Gotro.
16 drove it into the 08. Oh, they're going to have a run on the 51. The 51 was doing too much of the break in the draft.
Oh, somebody's spinning.
And now the 16's... Oh, the 54's on the 08. What is he going to do now?
Yep, a lot of jockeying for position right at the same time. 9's going to come slide up in front of the 51. It's going to be... Oh, it's going to block the 51. Just cuts the nose off. Not enough room for the 51 to dive. It was being side by side with the 69. And will have to stay back in at least second, if not third. And a bit of contact there. He's going to lose more.
54's on the outside of the 08, but the 08's going to try to close the door. 54's going to concede and just say, take it.
Yep. As that about
51 was doing too much of trying to focus on breaking the draft. And wasn't just running a line. Oh, 54 in the 08 again, walled, going into turn 3.
right now. Here comes the 16. We'll have a run on the 51. Does he go to make a move right here? Looks inside. Can't get the nose to fit in there.
And now that's going to cost the 16 because he didn't get the entry that he wanted to, which is going to draw the 08 to his quarter panel.
Yeah, but they sell that out real quickly there. And we remain in this single file conga line of cars.
I think the dark horse out of this group right now is going to be Rockstar. He's just patiently waiting here in, I think it's 6th place. Not pushing the issue, not trying to make moves, just pushing along in the draft. He's pushing the 08, letting the 08 be the one to make the moves. The 08 gets into the door of the 16, forces him up the track.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if you wait too long and you are stuck behind the two battling right now, you could lose touch with the leader if the 16 and the 08's battle goes on for too long. So
Right, absolutely. And the other thing too is you have the 69 in the 9. You know, the 69 is probably going to do everything he can to push the 9 out to a lead to break up the guys behind him. And I don't like what the 08's doing. He's getting moves on the insides of guys and then letting up to give the position back, which is costing the 4th place car a run, and it's also costing them time.
right now, with a bit of gap back to 5th place, hopefully Missops can get back up to the front 3.
Like, if you're gonna make the move and apologize for it later.
Yeah, I mean, there is a thing for race of courtesy, but at the same time, if you make a move, you have to sort of deal with it. And as now, speaking of making moves, the leader is making a move.
Right, but this is also a momentum track. You've got to keep your momentum up. Oh, and the 9 car is not going to be able to close the door on the 69.
Yeah, no, they got real close right there. Dad actually led that lap, in fact, as they came across that time. And now Dad looking to the outside again. Sludge will be side by side.
Oh, and the 9, Dad's going to push the 9 down. The 9 got the apron a little bit.
Yep, 9 got the apron. It looks like 69 and maybe on the 51 is going to get clear. Well, at least the 69. 51 is going to stay outside and use the run off the exit here to perhaps get to it. And Sludge is moving backwards.
This is where winning the stages is great, but it's not going to help you down the straightaways because everybody's going to try to freight train you as far back as possible. And now he's going to be stuck behind the 51, where we can see that the 51 is very loose coming out of the turns. And yeah.
It looks like Justin's English has failed in that department, so we'll take a look back up. That's now gotten the lead with Soaps.
Trying to get the run off the 51, but I don't necessarily think that's the car right now that you want behind you, because he's not going to be able to give you the push that you need. And if you're the 08, I'd be really nervous seeing how you've seen the 51 lose it off this turn multiple times.
Well, we kept it straight that time, man. In fact, it was a 16-1 game lose for maybe like the first time tonight. We had been talking about how well he'd been on the long run with keeping the car straightened out.
So now you're in Sledge's shoes. You're in fifth place. Everybody's running the bottom right now because you're so far into the run. What do? Follow or go somewhere where somebody's not? Or do you essentially give them the bumper and say, hey, I'm here, I'm faster, like, let me go?
Here's the thing, we have a whole nother run and we have pit stops coming up. When pit stops come around, the field gets a bit more split up, as it usually does. Not everyone's going to enter and exit the same way unless it's Daytona and Talladega. And
the other thing to mention that we had in the other race, you have to use the access road coming off pit road. If you don't, it is a 10-point penalty to your points for not using it coming off pit. You don't have to use it going on, but Taddy has made it very clear that you have to use it coming off because 2 drivers received a 10-point penalty last
Yeah, we
race.
still got to find clips for that.
It's already done.
Right on, brother.
As now with Soaps is actually taking the lead of the race from probably your dad, and Sludge looks to go side by side for second with Dad. The draft's going to go to the outside, so Sludge out in no man's land right now, but down now in the corners, he's going to be in the preferred line.
So now if I'm Rockstar and we're getting closer to... I'm assuming maybe Dad or Denki...
Oh, Dad's in the wall.
So sorry. Did not mean to distract you.
No, it's good.
Five laps of fuel left.
I was going to say, are we getting close to pit stops? Because now if you're the 54, I understand that you're sitting here and, letting things happen in front of you, but you got to start making moves. Pit road is coming. If all these guys pit together, would you want to be the 54 behind everybody getting on pit road?
I would say...
Oh, wait, loses it.
I would say maybe so, just because any issues that happen in front of you, you're not going to get caught up in them, like speeding or contact that would force you to speed. But now the 9 is going to use a bit of contact to finish the move on the 16 and get back out front of this race. And now the 51's coming as well. He makes a dive to the inside.
So I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Dad is probably out of contention right now for any win whatsoever. I think if you're going to see a win, it's going to come from these guys right here. Unless
how many laps of fuel did we get again?
28, but you need like 26, 27 to be on the good. But so if any, the only way Dad's really going to catch up is if something dramatic happens to all these guys getting on pit road. Unless Dad tries to play the strat where he anticipates when these guys are going to pit, and pits one lap before them, being the only car coming on pit road, where then these guys are going to be wondering, where do I check up? When do I check up? Am I going to get a speeding penalty? And a couple of cars are going.
Yep, that is Sludge Nilgatra looking... It looks like that was a signal.
So I'm going to go on board with the 9. Seabird, you stay on board with the Soaps. And we'll kind of see where this is going to play out. The 9 gets down to speed. The 08 did not signal that he was coming on pit road. That is another thing. It's not a penalty, but you have to remember, you have to signal that you're coming on pit road, because if a guy comes up behind you and screws up your pit road, it's on you, not that driver. And we see in the background, a little black car decided to come on pit road with these guys.
Yes, now rocks are signal to pit here, and Masopes is also going to come down. They keep it straight on the pit road, and the one car shaking bake's going to come down with them, and so I would assume it's the rest of the field. So pit stops in.
Very much of an advantage, but these guys, remember, access road. I wouldn't be running side by side if I were you.
So we'll see where everyone comes out here.
Of course, Dad screws up the exit.
No, I'm just trying to get every inch I can. Left's on the grass.
So, Sludge is coming out of 4 right now, T-Bird. Where is the leader?
The leaders are just coming out of the pit road now down the access road just about, so I think Sludge is going to have...
They may fall clutch to Dad. Because they're going to be at a disadvantage because they're not going to be able to be up to speed. So it's going to be very... How far back are these guys going to fall?
Not far.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be... It looks like Mazo's going to get third. Delgacho's going to make the move for fourth, put Rockstar fifth.
So if you're Rockstar now, what do you do?
Right now I'm focusing on using the two guys in front of you to get back up towards the front two, if I'm in his shoes. Especially Maso's on the same tire strategy as you. You two have the freshest tires in the field. Just be patient with this. You still have another 20-something laps in this race to go and make your way up through this field.
Right. You essentially have at least 25 laps to go. But if I'm the 54, I want to put the 51 behind me, and I want to be on Maso's bumper as much as possible.
Right, as we see, and Masos has already ran down. As you've already...
Leader? Question mark?
Might have been before
You're
you.
right behind me. Oops, sorry.
So who's the leader right now?
The 9.
Okay. So Energy maybe was the leader for a split second?
Perhaps, but now Masos is going to make a move on the 08, get side by side at this quarter panel, and try to make the move down one. Looks like the 08 dives it in to try to get back clear, and all that's going to do is hold up the rest of this group as now Masos off the exit goes completely side by side, door to door with the 08. Now, which is enough. The outside lane was the one that got drafted. Now Masos going to want to slide on the 08 and get clear. And we'll take P2 away, and we'll now set his sights back on the leader of Sludge.
Rockstar is not making the moves like he needs to. Because if Masops gets out front, you guys are on the same tires, but Masops has used up a lot less tire trying to get through this field. Rockstar has got to start making moves. Oh, and the 9 car is going to block, which is going to force him way out of the groove.
Yeah, Masops is going to be there. Delgacho with a huge run on the bottom. They're going to be 3 wide for the lead. Delgacho all the way down the teal part of the grass. Can't make it. Can not get it to stick. No one could really get it to stick. Sludge stays out in front. Masops stays second. And now Titan is actually going to try to get second and force Masops to back through the field. And it looks like Masops is going to be the one that's going to lose out on all this.
Here's the thing, is Sludge has to watch the drivers in his mirror because he just blocked the bottom from the 08, but the 08's been running the top line. So Rockstar is now hooked up with Masops. They need to get around the 08 as fast as possible. And I'm sorry, if the 9 car is going to play block, I would put the bumper to him.
Well, also at the same time, putting a bumper to a guy at a 1.5 mile speedway at 150 miles per hour, even in the corners, it's not the easiest thing to do in the world.
Get back to line. How many laps?
I'll let you know. 2 seconds. 19 to go.
Oh, okay. So Rockstar still has a little bit of time. He's still within the lead draft.
Yeah, all these guys are still in the lead draft, and
he's now losing it because these guys aren't running side by side.
Although it looks like Delgacho wanted to maybe go side by side for third. Took a peek, couldn't really get to it, but we'll stay in the same configuration as before. Now Rockstar's got back to the bumper of 51 just about. And now it's
going to take a peek on the 08. 08's going to shut it off.
Yeah, and what that's going to do is give Delgacho a chance to maybe run that outside, try to get a run on the 16. He's going to try to poke his nose up there, can't get it to work, gets blocked out. And now the 51 is going to try to look bottom, still can't get it to work.
I think what the 16 was looking for is like a Kyle Larson push Talladega a week ago. where I think he was hoping that the 51 was going to push him so that he could get under the 08.
Right, but now 51's going to go to the outside of him and go for third place.
Yeah, and if you're these guys, you have to go where your competition's not. You need to use all 5 lanes of this track.
Comment. Again.
Really?
Yeah.
And so I believe the 51 and the 08 and the 9?
Yeah, those were the 3 that were with them.
So, maybe
Gonna be
the
close.
16 and the 54 can just hang back here because we know that the 9 is going to be using as much as possible because he's trying to keep the lead.
Perhaps.
We have another car out of the race.
Yeah, but I just saw in Messenger it was Shake and Bake blowing an engine. He was having a nice run in the top 10 all night, basically, after starting in the back, but he will finish outside the top 10 as well after that blown engine.
So, Dad, how many laps to go?
Oh, the 08's made a move. He's put the bumper to the 9. They got side by side. Delgado is going to be right there for him in third place. Who's going to take advantage?
The 08's going to get hung out.
Oh, God.
Do you have enough fuel, Dad?
I'm at 14 laps right now, and I'm coming to 14 to go.
Ooh. Come on, car, make it.
So if you're in Dad's shoes, would you start saving knowing that some of these guys may run out?
No, because there's a group of cars that pit a lap after me that probably can make it, so there's no problem.
Like me!
I've lost.
Yeah, and, well, thing is that maybe Delgado in the back of this group has been able to sort of lay off and make the lap up with draft.
So let me ask you, T-Bird. Do you think that that's going to be a strategy next week? Longer races, longer stages.
I don't think so. I haven't seen what stage 3 is in the cup race.
I know stages in 1 and 2 are you're going to have to pit no matter what at Homestead. That's just how it goes. As God, we're doing this again.
Rockstar's slowly again past one car, but I think he's going to fall clutch to that outside lane again. So nobody wants everybody's making moves, but nobody wants to partner up to make a move. Oh, and the 08 flipped the 16, which is let the 9 car pull away a little.
Yep, and no, 08 got a block out. There's Block City back there. As I'm trying to, I'll be honest, the same thing that's happened last week starting to happen again at the end of this race, which I hate right now.
What?
Every position in the top 5 right now is blocking for every position. Which is exactly what the 9 car wants to see.
I mean, Dad, you weren't there, but last week I had a little overheating issue with the mainstream PS, and it's starting to happen again. So let's pray that stays good.
10 more laps.
We're coming to 10 to go this time.
Yeah, I've sort of dragged it out of the cubby. See if the extra little air getting to it is going to help. It hasn't given me a notification since I got that. So
the 08 and the 54 have fallen off the top 3.
There's officially no way I'm making it.
I think Rockstar. Dad's saying that he's not going to make it. The other 3 cars aren't going to. I don't think are going to make it either.
I'm already a lap short. The guys that came in after us might even be stretching it.
Maybe that's what Rockstar's been doing back there since entire time. Just like
that's what I'm thinking.
I have 11 laps of fuel left.
Get his first win.
Yeah. Or is it going to be Masopes up here in second place? So he and the draft still have enough to make it through,
but
even though
Masopes has been using a lot to stay up in second to third.
Right, that's
the 9 car, I don't think you're going to see him make it. He has not obviously looked at his fuel to notice that he's not going to be able to make it.
Yeah.
Unless there's somebody that's on a shifter that is shifting to neutral, but I don't. With the battling that there is, I don't believe shifting to neutral is going to help you.
Now 54 has gone around the 08 and is looking at the 51 as well now for maybe third.
So you're saying there's a chance that Dan Cape might get higher than 10th?
There's a chance.
I mean,
Leaders may run out.
10th.
and that behind him in 6th place, he's already said I'm a lap short as in-race supporter. That's going to be another one. So a lot of guys that pitted a bit early in the run. It's going to be tight. Oh, and Mustup's ready to get move on it now.
He's going to push up. The 51's going to get a run. Can the 51 hold it?
They're going to be 3 wide for the lead.
Decided that he can make it on fuel. So I think he's going to start pushing.
They're going to be
the 51.
They're side by side. Mustup's can't hold the momentum around the bottom that the 9 can. 9's going to be there.
He's going to slide up. He's going to let off, though, because the 54 is there.
A bit
of, let off because of the wall.
It looks like 54 is going to immediately go back.
Now going to take the 16.
And he just moved that man out the way. Going for P2.
Oh, but he's going to get the apron, which is, they're going to be 3 wide.
Oh, a bit of contact, bit of rubbing, bit of racing.
That just cost him everything.
Coming to 5 to go.
Now Rockstar has to regroup and do this all over again.
Who's going to make it? Who's going to be short? Who's going to win?
He's back on the outside of the 08. Can he get the drafting through the 08 going into turn 1?
Telgotcher looking at the 16. Sludge also up there front in the lead.
Rockstar needs them to be side by side. If and when are these possibility that 2 of these leaders, 1st and 4th, may sputter coming to the last lap. So that 54 needs to get to the 16's bumper.
There's Sludge protecting the bottom right there.
The 9 did the same block he did before on the 16. 16 says, I'm going to go to the top on you.
Right, and that's a very smart move, recognizing that. And now he's going to have a run.
He's going to push the 9, though.
Still, they only get about even on speed out of the corner.
This is going to help Rockstar tremendously. I think we're coming to 3 to go.
Yep, and Mustup's. Yep, 9's clear. Mustup's couldn't stay side by side through 3 and 4 that time. As now he goes to maybe look again, not quite there.
Oh, Rockstar got loose, sliding up. 51's in the wall.
2.5 circuits around left. Now less than that. At Homestead, Miami. Strategy, speed, technical moves. We're going to have it all in the last 2 laps of this race. Get on the edge of your.
Coming in turn 1.
Oh.
He's not there.
51 looking outside. 9 still maintains the lead with a lap and a half to go.
We're going to find out coming to the line who's going to sputter, who's not.
All right.
16's under the 9. 9 slid way up.
There goes Mustup's. It's going to be now or never.
The 51's going to go with him.
1 lap to go.
The 51's at the wall.
Oh, a bit of contact, a bit of side-by-side action. 9's.
Under the 51, but I don't believe he's going to pull it off.
Oh, Mustup's hits the apron.
He's in the apron.
They're going to be 3 wide for second. Sludge trying to limp it back across the line.
Sludge is out. Sludge is out.
Sludge is out. Delgotro.
Oh, nope, he's on the outside. It looks like he's sputtering. Will we have enough? He's out. Oh, Rockstar's going to... 16 got loose. Rockstar comes second. Delgotro timed it perfectly.
Just sits back in 3rd place the entire portion of the run at the end there. Makes a move on the 16 when it matters. The 9 sputters in the final corner. And the 51 will get his first win of the season. Delgotro, your winner in Homestead, Miami. Rockstar gets second over Mustup's.
And the other thing, too, the 9 car, if I'm him, I'm heated. Won both stages, won 3/4 of the race, and you don't even get a podium.
That's just racing, man.
I will take it. That's my best run ever.
As hopefully we'll get a full results. So give y'all a rundown.
Delgatro, Rockstar, Masolt, Sludge, Power, Brian, Ken, then Kate, NASCAR 82, probably your dad in 10th, Power NRG, Shake and Bake, Warpig, Chewy, Harvick, Pollock, and Captain Jack.
We have, I'm saying this on air, we have 2 GC historical runs for 2 drivers inside the top 10. Brian Eskey and Denke got top 10 finishes.
Moso's fastest lap of the race with a 32.139. Rockstar right behind him with a 149. So speed to be found from those podium finishers. We'll actually get to see if hopefully we can see if Justin, if you could get Mosops, Rockstar, and Delgatro should be in here. He was just commentating with Denke in their earlier race, but
yeah, he just has to remember to show up.
Delgatro is not in here. I don't know if I have everybody. We'll try my best.
All right, so we'll give these guys a moment. We'll take care of interviews. Now we gotta do it fairly quickly, but we'll still get. Well, me and Dad should probably have him. At least Dad should.
Have what?
Rockstar as a friend to invite him.
Yeah. Hold on, I got you.
All right, guys, have a good one. Gotta go.
I'll see you
later.
Realizes that he's not actually a moderator.
So, before we get the interviews going, Justin, what's your last overview of the race itself from what you saw in the booth? Or do you want to say that for the end?
That was a good race.
I'll agree with you on that statement. That was a very entertaining race to call from the booth, as we now have all 3 guys here who were your top 3 from in the Cringe Xfinity series from Homestead Miami Speedway. We'll start with, if you're on Mr. Always on Always Allow, Mr. Mosops, the 3rd place driver in this race, driving the 16 car. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I do. What's up?
You were.
Can you hear me?
I could hear you. Let's just hope the stream can hear you. If we'll probably get yelled at.
Okay. It's on Always Allow.
All right, that should be good then. All right, so we'll start with you finishing 3rd. Probably not the result you were right at the end. You thought you might have had a chance to win if you were able to keep that 2nd place with Sludge running out, but still a very respectable run for your 2nd race here in GC on the season. And just what was your whole thoughts in what was going on with between the fuel strategy and stage 3 and just trying to set yourself up for the end of the race?
It was a lot, man. It was really hard. Not gonna lie, there's some really good, fast drivers in here that know how to keep it clean every lap of the race. And first and foremost, I do want to apologize to probably the dad who's in here, and as well as Rockstar and Delgatro and Sludge if he's watching this. It wasn't my intention for my car to absolutely lose all its speed in the last 2 laps and drive like a maniac right there. Probably really loose, but no, I mean overall it's really hard to get a really good fast group of cars together like we had tonight and have such a nice competition. I had a really fun time in the race battling with those guys up front. I'm really excited, looking forward to the next race, and I might be able to get out on track with them again. But yeah, the fuel strategy is definitely something interesting. I think me and the 54 were really in the better places, but neither one of us could really just capitalize off of it since we stayed out one more lap. He did a really good job there at the end, passing me for 2nd, but we just really couldn't capitalize on the speed that the 9 had there at the end. I was pushing really hard and just couldn't get to him, and by the time it was time to get to him, my right front had went out the door. So Fun race though, really fun race. Really good group of guys in the front.
Yeah, I will agree with you with it being a fun race there. And, I mean, just a little bit short, but also a great run from you tonight and your return to racing. And hope we hope we can see you next week out there.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, next Sunday. Haven't got a schedule yet for work yet, but if I'm off, and yeah, of course, I'd love to race. I really like the last 2 races I've done here. I like the no caution thing. It's something different. It's definitely a challenge, more adversity, which is always good. And it seems like the guys that run up front are some of the cleanest drivers that I've raced against in quite some time. So that's always a great opportunity to join those guys.
Alrighty, thank you. Mr. Justin Shackett, do you want to take our second place driver of Rockstar?
I would love to. Hi, Rockstar.
How's it going?
Good, you?
Just living the dream.
So, you kind of were caught up in those mishaps in stage 1 and 2, and then in stage 3 we kind of saw you work your way through. I saw kind of a different driver in you, where you were kind of content with just hanging in the back of those guys when they were battling for the lead. Was that strategy for you because you knew that you were just trying to make it to the fuel end?
Yeah, I knew, I was in 6th place and there was absolutely nobody behind me. So I was content just sitting in 6th the whole time until we pitted. I mean, I didn't try to pass at all. I was just following, saving gas, saving tires so I could make it that one extra lap, knowing I wouldn't have to worry there at the end. So.
Yeah, because I was waiting for those Rockstar moves that I saw at the end there to get second place. But all in all, I mean, it seemed to pay out for you because you were able to save more than, the guys that were kind of making the moves, and essentially it helped you coming out of turn 4 because you got 3 for the price of 1.
Yeah, I tried to make a few moves a few laps sooner, but anytime you get below someone at this track, it's hard to get the drive off, and then the outside would just kept pulling away. But luckily there in the last turn, everyone went for it and just left me all the space to drive through the middle. So, I was happy with it.
T-Bird?
I think you just about covered everything there that I would have had for him.
Congrats on your second place win. Hopefully we can see you up front with the weeks coming.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
Dad, do you want to take first place?
Do what? Oh, yeah, I'm still here. I don't think I did that. All right, Delgatro, you had a pretty stable car the whole race. It looked like you were on the right preset, had it tighter than the rest to get going on the long run. That's what it looked like most of the race. Is that kind of what your car was feeling like tonight?
Yeah, the first 2 stages were really good. I really wasn't dealing with the loose condition until that 3rd stage. So before we made that pit stop, it was getting really loose. And I was having a pedal right there, so I made a little bit more wedge adjustment to kind of help looseness off of that late run, and able to somehow pull that off. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was a good finish. Yeah, I noticed me and you were about the 2 cars getting tighter and tighter just about every run, I noticed. Everyone else pretty much seemed pretty set with what they had.
Yeah, the 16 was really loose, and I almost thought my race was over at that last lap. 16 kind of got into me, almost coming off corner, and luckily I was able to hang on to that, and he was able to hang on to his. And fortunately, Sludge ran out of gas. I think he just had probably the better car of the race, but yeah, it worked out good for us.
I hear you. Got anything for him, T-Bird?
Just one last comment now. Out of the top 3, you were the only one that pitted with Sludge. You ran out, obviously, at the end. Where you, so how concerned were you with fuel at the end there?
I hope you make it.
I honestly wasn't as concerned, just because I was a lap good pretty much that whole run, and I was able to mainly was trying to save tires, and as well, that last part of the run, I was just kind of waiting on the soaps to kind of get into the 9 at that last lap and just kind of steal it from there. So I wasn't really much trying to be too aggressive there, but yeah, luckily I was able to make it. Me and Sledge were in a party chat, and he said he was out of gas. I was like, what the hell? How are you out of gas? We bid at the same time.
Yeah, well, just sometimes how it falls out, and you were able to make to the end and cross the line first for at the very least, your first win of the season. Your first win in Giggity, Cringe, whatever, in like a while. So I'm sure you've got to be happy about this one.
Oh yeah, that was yeah. It feels good to win, and I'm not a person that goes out there and wins races in these leagues. I'm still trying to get my first championship in one of these things, so but it's always good to win, and that was fun racing though. I had a lot of fun there, trying to dirt track the car off the corners, and that was just so much fun.
All right, thank you for that, and with that, we will be closing out the stream and tonight's festivities here from GC Sports. Tune in Tuesday for the Cringe Cup right here at Homestead, and Thursday for the Giggity Cup series, where for the first time you'll see me out in the 96 on both days instead of just one, so yay for that. But that's just enough of me tuning my own horn. Thank you, Justin and Dad, for coming up with me this evening.
Yeah, no problem.
You're welcome.
Having fun, had fun racing it tonight. No thanks to Justin for filling in for me.
And before we start having these two fight, that'll be it. Congratulations to Delgacho for the win. Congratulations to the podium finishes with Rockstar and Masopes as well. And we will see you all on Tuesday.